Your forecast first with Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman, sponsored by the Accident Recovery Team.
Late this morning through the afternoon, we have been tracking our first wave of severe thunderstorms that developed in portions of northwestern Kansas, cruised across the northern part of the state, and now that activity is south of Kansas City. But we still have a severe thunderstorm watch and a few severe thunderstorm warnings that remain in effect for tonight. Let's go ahead and break it down for you as we take a closer look here at radar. I want to take you over towards southwest Kansas and the Oklahoma Panhandle. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Texas and Beaver counties. On the Oklahoma side of things, until 5:45. The storm that is slowly moving to the south is approaching Guyman. Winds to 60 miles per hour are a possibility with that storm. All the pink shaded counties here from Russell, Hoisington, including the cities of Lyons, Ellsworth, Lincoln, Salina, and Hillsboro. These locations are still under that severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 9 o'clock. This activity up toward Lincoln and Minneapolis, not severe, but we will definitely keep a close eye on that. And farther to the south, not seeing any development across south central Kansas. That isn't to be said that a stray shower or storm could develop here in the metro early this evening. As we go through tonight, skies will calm down, but the temperatures, they will stay warm and it will stay humid. But I see temperatures cooling down a little bit in the days to come. We'll talk about that ahead in your Storm Track 3 forecast. Your news starts now.
Here for you in Wichita and across Kansas. This is KSN News 3 at 5.
Scorched temps reaching triple digits. How the boys of summer are beating the heat. New York geyser, the steam pipe rupture that sends smoke and debris flying and residents running. And new information, shocking details released in the deaths of a Wichita couple found in a shallow grave in Arkansas. Good evening, I'm Jeff Herndon. Tonight we are getting our first look at the case authorities have put together as they investigate the killing of a Wichita couple. Investigators say Pauline and Sonny Carpenter were killed while attending the Barton County Fair near Great Bend. They were vendors at the fair. Their bodies were dumped in a rural area of northwest Arkansas. 3 carnival workers have been arrested: Kimberly Younger and Rusty Frazier of Texas and Michael Fowler of Florida. A probable cause affidavit released today says police in Arkansas got information that a woman, Christine Tenney, had been kidnapped and taken to Van Buren. Now, during that time, police learned of the murder of the Carpenters. According to the affidavit, during questioning, Fowler admitted to shooting and killing the Carpenters in Great Bend. Goes on to say that he says Frazier and Younger were with him when he did it. The affidavit says the 3 took the Carpenters to Van Buren, Arkansas. The document says 2 days later, the 3, along with Christine Tenney and another man, drove to a secluded area and dumped the bodies, covering the couple with rocks, limbs, and bedding out of their camper. Officials say they have recovered the murder weapon. Sonny and Pauline Carpenter lived in a Wichita neighborhood, and many of their family members live in state. They say this is a senseless act that resulted in the death of 2 very special people. KSN Sarah Berlinger talked with several relatives and neighbors of the Carpenters. She has that with more. Sarah?
Jeff, some family members were emotional on the phone when talking about the couple. They say Sonny and Pauline were kind, supportive, and people in the neighborhood called them great neighbors. The family shared 2 statements with me. The first from their grandson that reads partly, quote, "I am absolutely heartbroken that they left this world in such a cruel manner. They did not deserve this. They were the most kind-hearted people on earth. I love them so much and will miss them immensely," end quote. And they released a family statement that reads, quote, "As everyone can imagine, we are still in a state of shock and disbelief with the recent senseless tragedy of our parents and grandparents. We appreciate your understanding of our need for privacy during this most difficult time," end quote. Sonny and Pauline's neighbors say they were nice people and would help others when asked. One neighbor says she's known them for about 10 years and will miss them. She adds she was shocked when police went to her home the other night for information on the couple.
Not believe, it's in shock. In shock, that's a tragedy. What's happened to them, I wish those, who is those the criminals, being punished, by law.
And Lydia Deschamps says the last time she remembers seeing the Carpenters was about a week ago when she was in the yard doing work. And again, she and others say they will be deeply missed. Sarah Berlinger, KSN News 3.
2 women who were with the Carpenters last Friday are speaking about what they saw at the fair. KSN's Michelle Ross from our Central Kansas newsroom continues our team coverage.
Kind, personable people. That's how two women explained their interaction with Sonny and Pauline Carpenter hours before they disappeared from here.
It's a helicopter.
It could have been us, because I feel like we were probably one of the last people to talk to them, because they were literally packing up as we walked by and we talked to them.
It was right here where Trinity Mitchell, Lauren Murray, and her daughter Everly were enjoying their day at the Barton County Fair. They went on rides, enjoyed expo events, and even shopped and became friends with Sonny and Pauline Carpenter.
They were so nice. The hour I was there, I felt like I knew their whole life story. They told me how this was their last year, how they were going to be retiring, they're just going to live their lives at home. They were just done with it all.
Looking back, Mitchell says she noticed something strange on Friday, a heavy police presence at the Carpenters' booth.
Cops were right next to their booth, standing there.
Murray also said her encounter with carnival worker and suspect Michael Fowler made her feel uncomfortable.
The way that he didn't let me say no, the way that he was really persistent with me wanting to play the game.
I reached out to multiple Barton County officials and the Barton County Fair Association, and they say they're aware of the situation, it's an open investigation, and there are no further comments. Here for you in Barton County, Michelle Ross, KSN News 3.
We will continue to follow the investigation into the murders. Look for our updates here on KSN and on our website at ksn.com. In other news, we know it's hot outside, and with the heat, many are trying to stay inside or find a cool spot to stay out of the sun, but for some, they're out in it, braving the dangerous temps. Craig Andrus is live, where he's finding one common theme. Craig, what is it?
Well, good afternoon. Simply put, water. Stay hydrated. Out in this heat, we found a baseball tournament, and most everybody we talk to says they're getting a drink of water so that they don't get into trouble.
Come back, here you go.
At this NBC State qualifying tournament, only one of these 18 and under teams will make it to the big tournament. So, every swing counts.
I just don't think about it too much. Just focus on the game, drink a lot of water, try to stay hydrated.
Hydration counts as well for catchers like Colton. Wearing all this gear, it's not easy staying cool. Draven Fowler got in an early game with his family to beat some of the heat.
I have a face mask, chest protector, and shin guards. It's heavy when I'm sweaty, but I just try not to think about that and just worry about the game.
As the games and the day heat up, the Fowlers were packing up after their 9 a.m. game. But they said they were thinking ahead about water and staying safe in the heat.
We tell him make sure he drinks water, especially the day before. That way it's in him, and then all day during the same day he's playing.
Meanwhile, some moms play it cool, doing what they can to beat the heat.
I, of course, always have a hat with me. I have an umbrella. Keep a drink at all times.
Your younger kids are not wearing hats?
They don't like hats.
As the crack of the bats continue, the hydration continues for fans as well.
Good shot, 25.
As A.J. Burns cheers on his grandson, he keeps the water handy, and he says even on days like this in Kansas, it could be worse.
I'm from Oklahoma, and the year I was a senior, the summer after I was a senior, it was 114 in Kingfisher, Oklahoma.
Some of the coaches I talked to say they're putting cool, wet towels around their players in the dugout to help lower their core temperature. Look, even if you don't play baseball or work construction out in this, good idea, simply put, just get some water, stay hydrated so you don't get in trouble and perhaps end up in the hospital. Live at X Stadium, Craig Andrus, KSN News 3.
Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman tracking the heat and the stormy weather. It's cooking up. Lisa?
Jeff, one of the things that one of the dads pointed out is that he hydrates his son the day before and also the hours leading up to the event. And you definitely want to take precautions like that in this type of environment. We have a heat advisory that stays in effect until 8 o'clock tonight, which includes Wichita, Ark City, Hutchinson, Pratt, and Medicine Lodge. All the counties highlighted in orange because we've had heat indices today approaching 108. And right now it's 109. So we've blown past that here in Wichita. Feels as hot as 108 in Ark City, 108 in Medicine Lodge. I have a feeling that heat advisory may be extended a little bit more into tomorrow. Well, we do have showers and thunderstorms that continue to pop up at this hour. Right now we are tracking some activity across north central Kansas and a severe thunderstorm that is going through Texas County in Oklahoma. That one producing 60-mile-per-hour winds. If you get underneath one of these showers, temperatures will briefly fall into the 70s and 80s, but boy, it is still going to feel steamy. We're going to talk about when temperatures will fall back into the 80s for some of us in just a few minutes. Jeff?
Stunning video here. Look at this. This is steam coming out of a street in New York today. An underground pipe exploded, sending this steam hundreds of feet up into the air. It can be seen from across Manhattan. Firefighters evacuated dozens of buildings. Several blocks of the city's famed Fifth Avenue still shut down. 5 people were treated for minor scrapes and cuts. For a lot of people, though, it brought back memories of the terrorist attacks.
All I saw was a tunnel of smoke, and I just started running. Didn't know what was going on. I caught flashbacks from September 11th.
Now, because of the pipe was so old, health officials fear the explosion sent dangerous asbestos into the air. Tests later confirmed its presence on the ground, but the air in the neighborhood, it came back clean. People who were in the area are being told to shower and bag their clothes. Any buildings where asbestos is found will have to be carefully decontaminated, meaning at least 49 homes and businesses surrounding the blast site, as well as Fifth Avenue, will be closed down 4 days. Got some big news today from Wichita State. Officials announced that starting this fall, the university will have a marching band. It will be called the Shocker Sound Machine, and the uniforms will look like this. The goal is to grow it to 200 members. The band will perform during basketball games. Officials say there'll be a minimal cost to students for the first year, and up to 100 scholarships will be available the second year. Fresh on the heels of a meeting in Helsinki, President Trump is extending the White House welcome mat to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Also, lawmakers want to change Kansas from a flyover state to a stop-and-stay state.
You're watching KSN News 3 at 5 with Jeff Herndon and weather with Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman.
The White House says President Trump is inviting Russian President Vladimir Putin to Washington this fall. The invitation is going through the National Security Advisor, but the White House confirms that discussions are already underway for the meeting.
Getting along with Russia is a positive, not a negative. Right. Now, with that being said, if that doesn't work out, I'll be the worst enemy he's ever had.
Meanwhile, President Trump is retreating on Vladimir Putin's request to interrogate Americans Russia suspects of crimes, including Michael McFaul, former ambassador to Moscow. The president backed down amid condemnation from both sides. The Senate passed a resolution urging the president to protect American officials from questioning by foreign governments. Lisa, hot and stormy. Crazy day.
And do you know folks down in Texas, they've been baking in the heat. Temperatures there anywhere between 110 to 120. We won't get that hot, but some of that heat is starting to move in our direction. How toasty temperatures will be before the weekend hits, coming up right after the break.
Now, your Storm Track 3 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman.
Our summertime pattern is in full effect. Earlier today, we had storms that have been bubbling up as the heat has continued to build, and that humidity not going anywhere anytime soon. We have been under a severe thunderstorm watch, which still includes Great Bend to Salina, just to the west of Emporia, all the counties that are shaded in pink here. It stays in effect until 9 o'clock, but I wouldn't be surprised as this wave of leftover showers and thunderstorms, that's the new development this afternoon, passes on by, that gets lifted a little bit earlier. Down across southwestern Kansas and the Oklahoma Panhandle, those storms definitely mean business. And while they have traveled away from the Kansas side of things, they are now leaving Elkhart. They are moving through Guyman, and winds up to 60 miles per hour cannot be ruled out of this. May even have some small hail, but overall damaging winds will be the primary concern, along with some heavy rainfall there. Some other thunderstorms could still develop here in southwest Kansas over the next couple of hours. May even see a stray shower or two in northwest Kansas, in addition to the north central part of the state, where we have this severe thunderstorm watch that is still in play until 9 o'clock. The showers really struggling from Minneapolis, northeast of Salina, back toward Lincoln. Lincoln experiencing some heavy rains there. That should be traveling down to the south-southeast as we go through the next hour or so. And not seeing any new development farther to the north of that, so that's definitely some good news if you have any outdoor plans. But as I draw you in closer to south central Kansas, see this line south of Hutch, but it's north of Wichita over towards Sedgwick, and also not too far away from Andover. That's what you call an outflow boundary, and we have to watch that rather closely because that's where additional storms could develop if things can come together here in the next couple of hours. But I'm not seeing any clouds that are bubbling up that would be a prelude to those thunderstorms. Right now here in Wichita, get this, it's 100 degrees. The winds, they aren't flowing really at all out of the south at about 6 miles per hour, out of the south-southeast. Take the air temperature, you factor in the humidity, feels as hot as 109, so please take things cool. Those winds at 6 miles per hour, they're going to stay between 5 and 10 miles per hour for the rest of tonight and even heading into tomorrow, which means the temperatures as they warm up. Around here this time of year, you can normally get a breeze that could help to cool you down, but we're not going to get that. Temperatures right now with 100 in Wichita, 101 in Dodge City, 100 in Garden City, but in places that have been impacted by rains, like Elkhart, temperatures have fallen into the middle 70s, but as you break out into some sunshine, temperatures will start to warm back up. Temperatures did take a hit in Salina, but now we're back up to 90. We're at 91 in Hayes, 93 in Hill City, and 99 in Goodland. So here's what's going to happen this evening when it comes to our storms. We still have a chance in central into eastern Kansas and the southwestern part of the state. Can't completely rule out a stray shower or storm in northwest Kansas, although I think the better chances will be farther to the south-southeast of you. Most of our skies should quiet down tonight, but we still have unstable conditions tomorrow afternoon, and that means any place in southern Kansas from Garden City to Dodge City over toward Wichita, a shower or a thunderstorm cannot be completely ruled out. A lot of that activity will be driven by the daytime sun, and if it continues past sundown, we may see some of that activity over toward the Wichita area. Looking at your forecast tonight, 60s and 70s, 74 in Wichita, 72 Salina, 69 in Dodge City. Temperature tonight in Colby, 66. In your 7-day forecast here for Wichita, 98 tomorrow, feeling as hot as 105. Still a chance of a shower or a storm. Looks like we're going to have sunshiny skies this weekend, 93 Saturday and Sunday. Rain will return Monday and Tuesday. Looking up to north central Kansas, 95 tomorrow, 92 Saturday and Sunday, lower 90s next week. But you do have a chance, a slim chance for a shower or a storm Sunday through Wednesday, maybe even into Thursday. In southwest Kansas, highs tomorrow, triple digits, dropping to the lower 90s on Saturday. Eventually, you will get into the upper 80s next Tuesday, if not the lower 90s, and you're going to carry that over into Thursday. In northwest Kansas, 95 tomorrow, lower 90s on Saturday. The weekend could have a few showers and storms during the afternoon and evening. Stay with us. We're back after this.
Well, the cost of using the Kansas Turnpike is going up this fall, especially for those of you who pay with cash. Starting October 1st, average driver will pay 12.5% more. Unless you have the K-Tag pass, then the toll will only increase by 5%. Semis and other commercial vehicles will pay 10% more if using cash. State officials say the extra money will go toward turnpike improvement. State of Kansas is looking to rebrand, making it a fly-to state and not a fly-over state. Today, Governor Jeff Collier and other state leaders announced a new marketing campaign, Land in Kansas. The goal here is to bring more high-tech manufacturers, aviation, and agriculture businesses to the state by marketing Kansas directly to the companies through new ads. The state is also planning to review, a review of the state's current economic development programs.
We're going to use it as a blueprint, if you will, to manage our objectives and goals, and what should we be focused on? Are we focused on the right types of industry? Is that what's going to be critical to Kansas in the next 5-10 years?
New marketing campaign is only in its first steps, and an overall cost is not yet known. Coming up next, we'll listen to Lisa for an update on your weather. Lisa, we've got an active radar out there.
Especially down toward the Elkhart area, the storm that's been moving down across portions of the Oklahoma Panhandle. Anywhere between Elkhart to Sturgis, Highway 56, there could be some flooding issues there. Anywhere between 1 to 2 inches of rain has fallen there over the last hour. Still have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect, which includes the cities of Russell, Lincoln, Salina, down toward Lyons and Hillsboro. Stays in effect until 9 o'clock, but those storms over toward Lincoln, looks like they're starting to pulse up a little bit more. We'll keep on top of it.
Okay, thanks for watching. NBC Nightly News is next. We'll see you at 6.